It's a perfect, beautiful day, and we are setting out on our first big official vacation since the pandemic happened. We've been lucky enough to do some weekend trips, but this is like our first big extended trip, so we are really, really excited. Ready?
Yep, ready to go.
Okay. Unfortunately, no Redford on this trip. He is hanging out with the grandparents. We all met already. Really miss him, but we're just trying to be excited. It's the hard part when you drop off the dog.
So don't let the weight of the world slow you down. And if you search for the meaning of life, it won't be found. So take your insecurities and leave them all behind. Let's learn to make the most of our time. Of our time.
We headed over the bridge through Philadelphia just as the sun was going down. We were going to the Philadelphia Westchester KOA, and this is located just north of Kennett Square, which is where we were actually going. This KOA has a variety of campsites. Some of them are right along the Brandywine Creek. They also have pull-through sites and cabins. I smell campfires. Right. Chicken.
Where am I going? Straight? At the dump station.
Okay, we put 2 leveling blocks under the other side. Got us pretty level. And then a few things got thrown around. We forgot to take some of the stuff that was like clothing and stuff that was hanging on the hooks up here. So from the hooks up here, that stuff fell off. We're supposed to take that off before we moved, kind of forgot. But under here with the cargo net, it held the extra bag of food down here really well. Those are my clothes that I forgot to take off the hook. The stuff that I put in the sink in this folding bucket stayed really well. I was worried about that with those crazy Philadelphia roads. The pillows got thrown around a little bit, but they stayed on the bed, so that's pretty good. Especially considering those roads. We took a different way this time because the roads last time like rattled the heck out of the Scamp. And now we've been having a little bit of issue with our electrical system. And we think it's because the roads were they were that bad. We were like cringing every time we would hit something. Fridge pretty good. Okay, packed in there. We will settle in. We are right next to the bathrooms, so it's actually one of the reasons we wanted to stay at the KOA our first night. The showers that we had when we were in Lancaster were quite nice. We are taking things pretty slow this morning. Just slept a little late. We went to bed pretty late from, driving and then setting up and eating after we got here. So we're just taking it slow, kind of getting our vacation legs. We don't have to be in Longwood until 2, so we took a walk, and now I'm going to make some sort of breakfast. It's almost lunch. But it's perfect weather. So we're just hanging out. We decided to spend our first night of the trip at this KOA because it's the closest campground to Longwood Gardens. We've been to Longwood Gardens many times. We make it our Christmas tradition that we go to walk around there when they have everything covered in the holiday lights. But we haven't been there in the past couple of years, and they recently redid their main fountains, and it is just a spectacular display of lights and fountains and music. So we were excited that this time we were actually going to stay until after dark to see the full fountain display. This whole area outside of Philadelphia is just an interesting area. It's very farmy and there's a lot of old buildings and old bridges, but There's a lot of stuff to do and a lot of history in this area, so it's a great place to visit and still driving distance into Philadelphia. Make sure if you're going to visit Longwood Gardens on a busy day like during the holidays or a Saturday like we were, you have to buy your tickets ahead, especially now because they're limiting the number of tickets, and on this particular day they were completely sold out, so we were happy that we purchased them ahead of time. And go toward the bells?
Yeah, check out
that tower. The Eye of Water sits at the back of the chime tower and the waterfall. And this is actually what feeds down into the waterfall on this mound that was built up using the dirt that was excavated from building the fountains. We go in here?
Yeah.
Before we take a look at the newly renovated fountains, we wanted to stop in the historic pump house. This shows the amazing engineering that went into creating these fountains. The construction was between 1930 and 1931. Pierre DuPont and his team created this system that was capable of moving 10,000 gallons of water per minute, and the jets could push the water 130 feet up into the air. This system was continuously used until 2014. Whenever we're at Longwood Gardens, I always marvel at the amount of work that it must take to keep up with these gardens because they always look perfect. We came over to the student exhibits, and there was an exhibit about the South Jersey Pine Barrens and its relationship with wildfires.
Do they have ticks in here?
They should have ticks or it's not authentic. They have blueberries.
Yeah.
There's no ticks crawling off of them. Our mascot, the tick. One of my favorite things about visiting Longwood Gardens is that you could walk miles and miles exploring the property, or you can find a quiet area with a bench and just sit and watch the flowers and the birds and soak in all of the beauty that's around you. And it's not all perfectly manicured gardens. There's a large meadow in the back with wildflowers. From the meadow, we headed around the far side through these beautiful rhododendron bushes that were in full bloom to one of my other favorite spots in Longwood Gardens, the Italian Water Garden. This is a fountain that was inspired by Pierre DuPont's travels around the world. You could definitely pack a lunch and bring a blanket, find a corner of the grounds to have a nice picnic. But Longwood also has a great cafe that we like to stop at whenever we're here. They have pretty fresh and healthy food, but the ordering system was slightly different because of COVID. They have an order by phone system that we used. By this time it was getting slightly less crowded, and we wanted to head back over to the Chime Towers. This is one of the most popular areas in Longwood, and it was very crowded when we got there, so we knew we were going to wait a little bit and then come back around.
In North America, there are nearly 200 carillons, with 8 in and around Philadelphia. Longwood's carillon combines centuries-old casting techniques with modern technology. Royal Ice Fountains use is made of sand and cement, coated to be fireproof. On top of this, a false bell is modeled in sand and wax on the floor. This temporary bell is identical to the ultimate bronze bell.
We still had quite a bit of time to wait until it got dark when the big fountain show starts. So we figured we would find a spot toward the back where it was quiet and we could put the blanket out and relax for a little while. Now, up until this point, Patrick had been kind of distracted and out of sorts, and I just chalked it up to the first day of vacation and being kind of tired, but I was about to find out what the real situation was.
I think this is my favorite section.
You like it over here?
Back here.
Yeah. We always gravitate toward the areas that are less crowded.
Carrying that around.
We found this very nice quiet spot toward the back in the oak and conifer knoll. There was this spectacular tree that I thought looked so nice I wanted to get a shot in front of it. But then Patrick said that I should switch the camera and put it in the tree, which is very unusual. And then I figured out why he wanted that angle. Patrick got me an antique 3-stone diamond ring, and the setting reminds me of the fountains at Longwood Gardens. Yeah, it does. You glad you get to relax now?
Yeah, the chap's done. That's why you do it on day 2. So you don't have to worry about losing it or thinking about it. So we're good now.
I thought you were acting a little nervous. Good spot.
Yeah.
It's a good spot. I like this tree. We went over to take a picture by this tree because we wanted to remember this location. All the memories that we have at Longwood Gardens and all the places that we like to visit when we're here, this is going to be our favorite, so we can remember the day that we got engaged. Now, with Patrick feeling much more relaxed, we went back out to walk around and explore the gardens. We made our way toward the Conservatory, this giant glass building that sits in front of the main fountains. And this is one of our favorite places to visit, especially in the winter, but it's really nice any time of year. This large enclosed glass structure, and there are also some interesting historical things inside. Do you want to go walk through the conservatory?
Yeah.
Okay. As we were walking into the conservatory to our favorite area with these hanging purple flowers and big palm trees, we ran into another couple who had the same camera as us, a Canon, and they asked us to take a picture of them, and then he took a picture for us. So these are our unofficial engagement pictures, and he might have been a professional photographer because they came out pretty well. At the back of the conservatory is a formal ballroom built in 1929, and the area just behind it houses the pipe organ. It's funny. Of all the things Atlantic City gets a claim to fame for.
It's pretty cool. The whole thing's an instrument. The pipes go all the way back, and the compressors and everything else. And this is where they do it. This is where the controls are. They still open it up once in a while, so you can actually hear it. Like, it's really cool.
Go check that out one day.
Yeah.
learn how to play?
I don't think that I've been in here before.
No, we've never came back here.
I don't think it was open.
Oh, maybe not. After checking out the conservatory, we went back outside to find our space for the other main event of the day, which was watching the full fountain show. These are the newly renovated fountain gardens, and we haven't been here in several years since it was redone, so this is our first time seeing them. And we've never stayed until after dark to see the full fountain and light and water show, so today we were going to stay. And even before the main show, they do these little mini shows every few minutes. And because of monetization, I can't let you hear the music, but just imagine that there's some really fun Beatles music playing in the background, and the fountains are synchronized to it. It is a very fun show to watch.
Jets and streams. After dark, the fountains are lit by more than 1,000 red, blue, green, yellow, cyan, and lime-colored LED lights. With an endless color range, the most up-to-date fountain technologies, and a setting like no other, the main fountain garden is the ultimate garden spectacular.
We found our spot on the lawn and got comfortable to relax and wait for it to get dark so we could watch the main fountain show. And we'll share that one with you in the next video. We have a lot more to share with you from this 10-day trip. This is just the beginning. So I hope you will join us for the rest of this road trip through Pennsylvania with the Scamp. Until the next video, go back and check out some of the other travel videos we have on Let New Adventures Begin, or you can go over to my other YouTube channel, Laura G Yoga.
Well, you worried about you and me, the injustice, the next president to be, the news and what you hear, your career. It's time for you to face those fears, and it's all fair to be aware, and I'll be there, so don't be scared. Just take a deep breath of air, and 1, 2, 3 to 10, you begin to focus again, and though time flies, we'll have enough to realize this bigger than the both of us.